Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day. It is a Friday, and well, another day like yesterday. Yesterday the fog hung around a little bit longer. I think today it's going to dissipate a little bit sooner. I'll get to the weather in just a moment. On our show today, we have Juanita Skillman. She is the board president of United. They had their meeting this week. She'll give us a recap of that. Also, we have Dr. Doot here today, and Sonia Doot is with Harvard Eye Associates, and we're talking about, you ever get those flashes or floaters in your eyes and ever wonder what they are? Is it something you should be concerned about? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. We're going to bring you a segment with Sterling Financial with Dan Oweiler, and also the Christian Women's Connection. They have an event coming up. We're going to tell you all about that. Now, there's no meetings today, so let's get to the weather. And as I said, a little more fog out there today. Let me get out of the way. Here's a shot that Mark took the other day of the community there, and a good shot of how the gates there have been redone and just look great. This is actually he took the drone up, and he's really kind of over where Harvard Eye is. Right over there as a coincidence, but there you go. And you can see that fog, even though it was in the afternoon, was hanging around there yesterday. Went quite late. I think today it's going to dissipate a little bit sooner from what I've seen outside if you're watching us in the morning. But overall, we're going to remain the same. We're going to start to warm up a little bit on Tuesday, and also on Tuesday the clouds are going to dance like I have there. But Tuesday about 76, and it looks like Wednesday will be a little bit warmer. So we'll get a warm up next week, not like what we had, but we're going to get closer to 80 degrees probably Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Let's take a look around the state this weekend. And really, it's going to be mild. What you're going to really see is the heavier fog up and down the coast. So those areas from the North Coast, that's really, I get the temperature, by the way, when I put North Coast from the city of Eureka. The Bay Area, I look at San Mateo is my temp base because that's where I'm from. And then Central Coast, I get it, just so you know, from San Luis Obispo, and then, of course, San Diego. But fog up and down the coast, and just like here, as you get into the midday, it should dissipate. I think the Bay Area will probably hang around a little bit longer. But look at as you go much more inland, from Tahoe to Yosemite to Arrowhead to Palm Springs, sunny. They're not going to get this coastal stuff. So really, a pleasant weekend throughout the state, and there's the background there of Napa Valley. Good time to go up there. It's absolutely beautiful. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Parkinson's disease is a neurological movement disorder affecting an estimated 1 million Americans, including many under age 40. The American Parkinson Disease Association is the largest grassroots network in the United States, working to help ease the burden and find the cure for those coping with Parkinson's. Visit apdaoptimism.org today to find out how you can help millions live with dignity and optimism. Your action today will help APDA put an end to Parkinson's disease.
Having great home care is as easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm Lori Renaud with ActiCare Responsive In-Home Care. We can provide the perfect caregiver for you to receive exceptional care in the comfort of your home. Step 1, call to schedule a care consultation. Step 2, meet with a registered nurse in your home. Step 3, start receiving care. Aging doesn't have to be difficult. Call today to get the help you deserve.
Are you looking for a better way to manage your medication? MedBox by AmeriPharma has redefined the pharmacy experience. No more pill organizers and vials. When we fill your prescriptions, you get all your medications conveniently packaged by the dose and delivered to your door at no additional cost. This means no change in insurance, copays, or out-of-pocket expenses. Call our specialists today and discover the new way of pharmacy. MedBox by AmeriPharma.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cartmart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Car here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cartmart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
Welcome back. With me right now is Juanita Skillman. She is the board president of United. I have to apologize to her, I'm not wearing purple.
That's all right, I am.
A lot of times I do, yeah, when you're on. I just forgot about it today. I know that it's your favorite color.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Well, great to have you here today. Your meeting was Tuesday, of course, and I think it was about, I forget, it was pretty short, 2 hours and 35 minutes?
Just afternoon,
something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was really proud of that. We're getting better. Of course, we didn't have a lot to do this time.
Right.
It all depends on how many items are on the agenda and how much people need to talk about them, etc. But it went out very well, I thought. We really just had 3 big items on the agenda, and the first one was changes to our smoking policy, and that failed. It was a tie, 5-5, and according to Roberts, a tie is failure.
Right.
And so we tried to make some changes to the smoking policy because we've had complaints from a number of residents with asthma and chest and lung problems, etc. And it's certainly the trend all over to bar smoking. And so we were going to, this particular thing, barred smoking in the common areas.
Okay.
And so it did not pass. You can smoke in the common area as long as you are 20 feet away from any building.
All right.
Otherwise, it remained the same, and it includes vaping, electronic cigarettes. It's not just tobacco, but it includes anything that you inhale. And so that will remain the same for now. I'm sure it probably will come up again.
Yes, I'm
because
sure
it seems to come up periodically. And we do have regulations in United which allow buildings, if everybody, all the manners in the building want to make it a no smoking building, they can do that.
Okay.
And that's for perpetuity,
yes.
Which means if you sell your share and somebody else moves in, they have to be non-smoking too.
Okay.
So we have a few buildings like that, and that is possible, so just throwing that out there. The other 2 passed unanimously. We did the update to the policy for distribution of materials. There's a new state law that went into effect last year that said that we have to allow people to distribute materials for all kinds of different things, particularly political, educational, whatever. And some of the changes are they can now ring your doorbell and ask to speak to you, those kinds of things, unless you have a do not disturb sign up. They're very cheap. Go over to Home Depot, you can get one. If you have a do not disturb sign or no solicitation sign on your manner, then they can't do that. So that puts it back on the resident. If you don't want to be bothered. If you don't want solicitations, you can do that. And then, of course, we had one more standard, this one on gutters and downspouts. As we've been updating all of our alteration manual, and this is just another one of those. I think we're just about finished with that. And then the big one under new business, which we had lots of cheering about. It's taken almost a year, but we have done all of our due diligence. We know anything and everything, the tests that have been done, and so we approved a resolution, and it didn't have to go to 28 days, member comments. We approved a resolution to discontinue the use of herbicides containing glyphosate, and to approve an unbudgeted expense, which we had to do a supplemental funding of $15,000 to use the alternative herbicides.
Okay.
Because Roundup is the cheapest, but we looked
Right.
for other ones that did not have glyphosate in it, and we did, in our extensive testing, find something, but we did have to put in an extra $15,000 in order to do that. As a side, I might mention, I went to the Laguna Hills City Council on Tuesday night, and they're just starting this. I sat there and I kept thinking, deja vu all over again, because they were arguing the merits of glyphosate and should we, shouldn't we, and the costs and all of this kind of stuff. So I went up to the Director of Public Works afterwards and I said, do you know that we have done this for all the studies we've done here? He said, no, we only look at cities, so all we had was information from Irvine and Orange. They've got a lot more money than these ones down here. So anyway, I put him in touch with Kurt Wyman and get him copies of our studies, et cetera, and hopefully that will help them not have to recreate the wheel.
Yeah, and that's, that's kind of nice that cities and communities are sharing this, because...
Well, it is, but they have to know that even though we're not a municipality, a city, we're almost as large as some of them, and we do a lot of stuff, but they had never even looked or known that we had anything. Yeah. And you certainly know, because all the stuff that's been on your show, that we have thoroughly did this for the last year. So we'll share all of that with them, and I thought that was just kind of interesting. The big thing I wanted to really push this morning, and I'm asking all of our residents out there, think about running for the board of directors. We're going to have 3 seats available come August, September. And it's coming up because July is when the nominations go in. You fill it self-nominated, and you fill in the material and say why you might like to be a director and give us your resume. And then the election itself takes place in August and is verified in September. And we need people. We've got such talented people out there in our village, and wonderful backgrounds. And of course, the main thing we're looking for is people with common sense, who are not pushing just one specific item, but are willing to look at the village as a whole and what's best for the village and how can they help and bring their talents to bear. So this coming Tuesday, June 18th, 5 o'clock in the boardroom, we're going to have, we've called it a lot of different things, meet and greets, potential candidate meeting, whatever. So we'll have our board there to answer questions, to talk about what it means to be a board member, and to be frank about the time commitment and those kinds of things that you really need if you want to run for the board. We'll also have some very nice refreshments. And so we encourage people just to come and listen and learn. And it is not a commitment when you come on Tuesday. Again, it's just learning what it's all about, and then we hope that we can persuade you after that to maybe commit to running for the board. And that's my big push for today.
All right, very good, and we'll make sure to announce that as well.
Good.
All right, you take care.
I appreciate
Thank you very much. Always good to see you. Have a good weekend, and we'll be right back.
Hiring a realtor you trust is the first step in selling your home. Selecting an escrow company that can safeguard your money and personal information throughout the transaction is the next step. Escrow Options will guarantee the safety of your personal information and funds from the risks of wire fraud and cyber theft. Choose the escrow company that works for you. Escrow Options Group, protecting consumer assets in escrow since 2005.
Pacific Cremation Society offers the same cremation services as traditional funeral homes at a fraction of the cost. Call today to get your free $30 membership using the code MyMembership. Being a member guarantees special savings off all of our cremation plans. To request a free personal planning guide, call or visit us online at www.pacificcremationsociety.com. Start your conversation with Pacific Cremation Society today.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Get out and live your life with the Buzz Around XL travel scooter from Golden. The Buzz Around is fun to drive with a tight indoor turning radius so you can go just about anywhere. It's also so easy to charge and offers all-day range so you can go further. The Buzz Around even has more leg and foot room for all-day driving comfort. Be safe with the XL's ultra-bright LED headlight. Plus, the Buzz Around XL can be easily taken apart into several lightweight pieces. See for yourself just how easy and affordable mobility freedom can be.
The eye care experts at Harvard Eye Associates have been treating the vision of patients in Southern California for over 30 years. As a leader in multi-specialty eye care, our doctors specialize in cataracts, glaucoma, retina, cornea, LASIK vision correction, oculoplastics, and diabetic eye care. As an approved FDA research center, our doctors offer surgical techniques and technology not available to the general public. Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today. Laguna Hills, San Clemente. Call 800-974-EYES.
And with me right now from Harvard Eye Associates is Dr. Sonia Dute. And we're going to talk about a subject that people probably notice, not sure what they are, but they're called flashes and floaters. So welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes, great to see you again. Now, I think people probably wonder every once in a while, and I know this is not uncommon, that you'll see little black spots when you're looking around. Of course, if you see that all the time, there's a problem. But all of us, for some time or another, will have that happening. I mean, I can remember that, you know, when I was younger, years and years ago, and actually going to sort of a science museum up in the Bay Area, and they had an exhibit on this, and they talked what it was when it was common. You know, again, we're not talking about something that has become a problem, which I know this can be. So tell me what flashes and floaters are.
So you're right, it's very common. Some people are lucky to never have experienced them, and great to them, but you know, most people over the age of about 65 and sooner, in people that are nearsighted, have floaters. And floaters are things that, you know, float around in your vision. Obviously are not there, but people may think there's a bug flying in front of them. If they're trying to read, there's the little black spot that moves around. That's what we call floaters, and they can be long-standing and be there for quite a while. And flashes are exactly that, kind of a flash in the peripheral part of your vision. And, and it's a good idea if you have either of those to be checked. We really want to know if there's a change in those, because like I said, people can have floaters long-standing for a long time, but definitely important to be checked by an ophthalmologist at least once to make sure that there's nothing more serious going on. So the floaters live in the vitreous jelly in the back of the eye. This is kind of a picture of the normal anatomy of an eye. And you know, when we're born, the vitreous jelly is really solid, and it's firmly adherent to the retina, which is the nerve tissue in the back of the eye. With age, and like I said, sooner if you've had trauma to the eye or if you're nearsighted, that jelly kind of condenses in on itself, and it can separate from the retina. And when that happens, any of the cells that are living in that vitreous jelly, any debris, that's what the shadow that casts on the retina is what you see as floaters.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what you're seeing. The flashing is a little bit more of a concerning symptom because that actually means that there's some sort of traction on the retina, and that could mean something more serious like a retinal tear or a retinal detachment. And so flashes are typically a little bit more concerning.
Okay, let me kind of go back a little bit with the floaters. As I said, I've experienced them. It's rare, but I can remember when I told you I went to that, it's called the Exploratorium up in the Bay Area. I remember going there and seeing that exhibit. I was probably in high school, maybe a little bit older. And my friend that was with me, and he's kind of, yeah, that happens to me too now and then.
Right.
So what I'm getting at is that not uncommon even for somebody young to get that once in a while.
Correct, it is not uncommon.
Okay.
What I kind of wanted to talk about today was when the actual vitreous separates from the retina. We call that a posterior vitreous detachment.
Okay.
Happens, like I said, usually in the 6th to 7th decade of life, but can happen sooner if you're nearsighted. And sometimes it happens and patients don't notice any symptoms, but if you're seeing a ton of floaters, if you're seeing flashes that are new, it's important to get checked out because 85–90% of the time when that vitreous separates, it separates without issue. But 10–15% of the time it can rip a tear in the retina with it. And the concern with that is a tear in the retina untreated can lead to a retinal detachment like here.
Yeah.
So you can see that the kind of triangular shaped area in the top left of the picture is a tear in the retina. And this one wasn't treated, so fluid can get underneath of it and separate the retina. At that point, it's a detached retina which needs surgery and can lead to permanent vision loss.
Okay.
So if a retinal tear is noted quickly, you can laser around it to kind of barricade off that area and prevent it from detaching.
Okay.
And so,
what would cause this? Is it trauma or just something that just could happen because of age?
Sure, so both. Trauma can certainly cause it. But a lot of retinal detachments happen at the time of that vitreous separating. People thinking it's kind of no big deal, and there's a tear in the retina, doesn't get treated, and can lead to a retinal detachment. And these are two different examples. On the left, that's a picture of a retinal detachment that's kind of sparing the central part of the vision, and on the right, you can see a more extensive retinal detachment, so more of the central part of your vision is affected and is much more of a poor prognosis.
Okay, and it tears because it's pulling away, and basically, kind of like if you pull like your skin or you pull something off something else, it pulls a little bit of the outside off.
So the jelly is really sticky and firmly adherent. So when it normally tears from or when it separates from the optic nerve, or the macula, that's not a problem. But as it's kind of condensing and pulling, it can rip a piece of the peripheral retina with it, and that's usually what predisposes people to have a detached retina. And so really the important thing is, like I said, a lot of people have been seeing floaters for decades. We want to hear about a change in the floaters. Are they happening more often? Is it a whole snowstorm of floaters? Is there flashes that you weren't necessarily seeing before? Certainly if there's like a curtain obscuring part of your peripheral vision, those could be signs that your retina is detaching, and you would definitely need to be seen by your ophthalmologist right away. Okay,
does the same condition cause both floaters and the flash?
Well, the floaters are the shadow of the cells that you see around the retina. The flash kind of usually indicates that there's some sort of active traction, which is why it's a little bit more of a concerning symptom to us.
Okay, all right.
And this is just a photograph of after a retinal detachment surgery has taken place, and the top half that looks kind of shaded is a gas bubble that gets put into the eye afterwards. And that kind of serves as a balloon to hold the retina in place after retinal detachment surgery. Okay,
now once you have it and it's successful, does full vision come back, or do you still?
It's dependent on how long it's been there and how extensive the retinal detachment was and how successful the surgery is, how timely the surgery was performed. So there's lots of things, but oftentimes after retinal detachment surgery, the vision isn't back to normal, no, unfortunately.
Okay, does that mean that if it's in that one eye that you may still be able to see, but there might be a cloudiness on one side or like a shadow?
Your peripheral vision is significantly reduced, and you may still see distortion, and your central vision may just not be as great. Yeah, it just kind of depends on
it's
on a
catching
lot of
it early.
factors. Exactly. So that's why it's important to recognize those symptoms and be seen right away.
Okay, if someone comes in, no problems with their eyes, but have a normal extensive eye exam, is this something that would be looked for, just part of it?
Correct. As long as their eyes are dilated, yes.
Right.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much.
Of course.
And now people kind of know what that causes that, and
Yes.
hopefully if they're experiencing anything like this frequently, if it's once in a while, especially the floaters, a couple times a year.
Correct. Not so concerning, but a change in what you're used to seeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Of course. It was nice
And
to meet you.
Harvard Eye, of course, you can get a hold of them at 951-2020. They're located just across the way over there. And great people, all of them. Love to have them on. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you again.
Good to see you too.
We'll be back.
Diane's Hallmark is a family-owned Gold Crown store that is much more than just a card store. Our women's department has apparel, accessories, and jewelry featuring Vera Bradley and Bagalini handbags. Our religious department carries many different Christian books and Bibles, plus a great selection of Christian gifts. Of course, we have a large selection of cards and gift wrap as well. Come in and experience our personalized service.
At Freedom Village Assisted Living, we provide loving care and support when your loved one needs it most. We believe in laughing more and caring more. Dining will be an experience, not just a meal. We offer opportunities to create new memories. Your family will feel like they are part of our family as we work toward creating an extraordinary difference in lives worth living. To schedule a tour and complimentary lunch and for more information, please call us at 949-340-8108 or visit our website, freedomvillage.org.
Welcome to South County Adult Day Services. Conveniently located right here in Laguna Woods, we provide a safe, secure environment where you or your loved one can spend the day. Come socialize with friends, engage in enriching activities, receive the expert care you need, and participate in fun hobbies. Improve your mental and physical health and maintain your independence. We even take care of transportation. For a free tour, call us at 949-855-9444 or visit us at our center between El Toro and Moulton Parkway right next to the Olive Garden.
When you travel with AAA, you get more than a vacation. You get exclusive AAA member benefits, special offers on unforgettable experiences, and the travel planning knowledge of your own AAA travel agent. When you travel with AAA, you get the vacation of your dreams. To save on a pleasant holidays vacation, visit your local AAA travel agent today.
What do you get when you take a widow who's ready to start dating, a singer aged out of the cruise circuit, a lawyer who was betrayed by her once ill husband, and a woman whose husband left her for the whore from Gate 4? Put them all together and you have Tales from the Woods, written by Terry Louise Fisher, known for classics such as L.A. Law and Cagney and Lacey, along with the old prose. Tales from the Woods follows these four ladies as they take advantage of new opportunities while starting a new chapter in life, all while meeting some pretty colorful characters along the way. Join us every Friday at 6 p.m. and Monday at noon, only on Village Television.
Welcome back. Well, we've got on Chris Ramirez, and she's with the Christian Women's Connection here in Laguna Woods. And next week, they're going to be having their meeting, and they're going to have vocalists and a guest speaker and all kinds of things. Good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be back again.
Yeah.
I know we get different representatives in here, usually on a monthly basis. But yes, this month of June, we are having a little bit different time at our luncheon because we're inviting all of our men guests to come and be a part of things. Now,
okay.
Of course, our title says Christian Women's Connection, but we're honoring Father's Day, which is Sunday, and our luncheon is this Tuesday. We start very promptly at 11:45, goes to about 1:30. We do ask that our visitors and guests make reservations by Monday. Yeah. We have two special gentlemen being a part of our luncheon in presenting this time to encourage our our men guests to be with us. And so we have a gentleman that I've heard a couple of times. He's a retired police officer, John Reed, and he's just a people person. He loves people, and his story is very dynamic, one of endurance, one of persevering, and a lot of us can relate to what he has to share, but especially with our men coming, we're hoping that they will really relate. Additionally, we even have a gentleman as a vocalist, and I understand that I have not heard him before, but he has sung for some of our women's groups over the last couple of decades. So I'm sure he's going to be a delight as well. His name is on our little flyer here, Mel Amante, and he actually, with his family, owns a board and care facility in the southern part of our county.
Okay.
And he'll tell a little bit about that, I'm sure. But with each of our regular luncheons, we have what we call a feature, which we would call our singer.
Yeah.
And that feature usually represents some type of a vendor or business person in our community. But not only does he do that, but he also is this singer. And he does sing, I guess, for the residents in their facilities also.
Oh, how nice.
But we want to invite all of our listeners today, visitors, guests, to come out. You can make reservations, as I mentioned, up until Monday. We always take walk-ins, but of course we have to have a head count for our caterers.
Right. Yeah.
And Thomas Catering does an incredible job with their buffet. Our luncheon costs is a very minimal, $14, and kind of an all-you-can-eat. And with men, we know how that works. They want to come and they want to enjoy that.
Yeah.
But we really hope to see a lot of our special men in our lives, whether it's a spouse, your friend or relative. Feel free to encourage.
I think that's really nice.
Yeah. You ought to come and join us if you weren't so busy.
Well, maybe. Let's see. When is it? On Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
Well, you know, I have to do the board meeting that day. So
well, okay.
Otherwise, you know, that sounds good.
And this is unusual. We don't usually do the co-eds, you know, where we advertise it that way. Maybe once or twice a year. But really, with celebrating Father's Day this weekend, it really ties in wonderfully. Yes,
it does.
It does.
And the title's Fathers Knows Best, so there you go.
There you go.
Now, let's give I know you got a couple numbers on the screen.
Yes.
But like you said, it's you need to have a head count and you need to RSVP. So you have a couple numbers you want me to mention. Joe Hendrendine.
Yes.
At 949-939-2431. Or Wendy Lou at 949-568-7370.
Yes. For those that want to use the email, Wendy takes the emails as well.
Okay.
As just a techie way of
right,
communicating.
And that's Lou Wendy, that's LIUWNDY99@gmail.com. So any one of those will work.
Yes.
You know, if you forget that, you can go online to our club web pages and get the information there. Yeah,
one of we really encourage women in our community to come and give us a try. We're just a really delightful group of women, and we just encourage new ladies to come. And this is a great time, if you are new, to bring a support system if you want to bring your man, which would work out wonderfully, of course. But we've got some just delightful women that are part of this group. I've been a part of it now, going on a couple of years here locally. And again, it's a wonderful group. We do offer throughout the week also a couple of other opportunities.
Right, you have a couple Bible studies.
To meet, and I usually attend as I can, the one that Val does, but our chair, Leroyce, also hosts one. Hers is on a Tuesday, and Val's is on a Wednesday. So if that works out for folks that are looking for a little more intimacy in time. And again, just as a reminder, this group is non-denominational, non-profit, and we are under the cover of Stonecroft Ministries, which is international, but it's headquartered here nationally in Kansas City.
Okay.
In addition, I was just reading to get a little bit of my background information updated. It was founded in 1938 by Emma Baugh.
Wow.
And locally, the group here locally has been in existence for 40 years, and it was started by a local resident, Phyllis Heflin, who's well known in the realty business
Yeah,
here locally.
sure. Yeah, we
so
know her.
Anyway, we just want to encourage our visitors and community people to, if you haven't tried us yet, there's always a little blurb in the Globe.
Okay.
Once or twice a month.
Do you meet always once a month, or do you have to take time off for the summer? Or?
We don't. The
Okay.
luncheon is every month.
Okay.
It is the third Tuesday.
Okay,
every
very
month.
good.
So, okay.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And
It's
I
so good to
encourage
be
you
here.
to go to this next week and, bring your special guy. It should be a lot of fun.
That's right. It will be. It'll be
Yeah.
a lot of fun. So
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Nice
much,
to be
Chris.
here. Okay.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah.
I started Sterling Financial under the premise that there was a need for integrity in this industry as well as quality service.
There's such volatility in the stock market. One day it could be up 100 points, the next day it could be down 500 points. Well, what we like to do is be able to have people go to bed and wake up the next morning knowing that their money is safe and secure.
That's what we try to do here at Sterling Financial Advisors, is to create peace of mind and quality of life in retirement. Well, hello folks, this is Dan O'Weiler, the retirement professor, so to speak. You've seen me from time to time on This Day with Ken and interviews, and from time to time we like to do community service spots with people that we've hooked up with in the past, and today we have Stephanie McCormick from Make-A-Wish Foundation here in Orange County. So welcome, Stephanie.
Thanks, Dan. Happy to be here.
Stephanie and I became acquainted last year at our Client Appreciation Christmas event, and we were able to raise some funds to them. But before we get started in that, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get involved with Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Well, Dan, 41 years in the nonprofit world.
Okay.
And it was about 6 years ago when I was contacted because they had a transition at their CEO level, and basically they just asked if what do I think about
You were working with another
Make-A-Wish?
foundation?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
with, not another Make-A-Wish. I was actually at another nonprofit
Right,
at the time.
another foundation,
Yeah.
okay.
I was at Mariposa Women and Family Center.
So they did a headhunter approach.
Yes, they did.
Okay, and so for how long you been with Make-A-Wish then?
It'll be 6 years in a couple weeks.
6 years, okay. Well, that's great, and I'm assuming it's been a great experience.
Well, I have to honestly say that this is probably the pinnacle of my career.
Oh, great.
Definitely,
Great.
definitely. It's hard to say no to Make-A-Wish. And,
Okay.
And what we do in the community to help kids with critical illnesses is just imperative.
So tell us a little bit about Make-A-Wish and your I don't know if it's your mission statement or whatever it might be, but tell us a little bit about how it works and what is it that you do?
Well, it began actually in Phoenix, Arizona, for a little boy named Christopher Gracious. His wish was to be a CHIPS motorcycle cop. For
And
all
how
the
long ago was this?
That was in 1980.
1980,
Yeah.
wow, okay, 37 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Okay.
So the national office actually is located in Phoenix because of Christopher's wish. And it really came about through the efforts of a couple of police officers, Christopher's mom, and then some other folks chimed in. And there were really 5 founders that helped to grant this first wish. And
just people that got together.
Yeah, just
Okay.
people that got together, and
Okay.
they kept saying, well, we think we can do this, because Christopher had voiced with his mom that he wanted to be a CHIPS motorcycle cop. So they all came together in a very short amount of time because Christopher was quite ill. They granted his wish. He had his own uniform. He was sworn in as part of the Arizona State Highway Patrol. He got to ride on that motorcycle and a helicopter.
I'm assuming a few tears at the same time.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, yeah.
And thus the first wish. And it's kind of an interesting story because once the wish was over, his health declined rapidly. And the group got together after his wish and said, why do we have to stop here? You know, why can't we continue on with this? So literally they gathered together in one of their apartments and sat down on the living room floor. Back then it was that green shag carpet stuff.
As we all do when we start business, out of our garage or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah,
okay.
And so they said, well, you know, we can do more for more kids, but obviously we need a bank account. So everybody emptied the change out of their pockets, literally. And what ended up on the floor was $76.32. And thus the start of Make-A-Wish.
Okay, so it's become a national organization.
Worldwide, international.
International, wow. And you're president over the Orange County Inland Empire, is that correct?
Correct.
And how many employees do you have here?
We have about 29 employees. Okay. We have 2 offices. Our corporate headquarters are in Irvine, and then we have an office in Riverside. So we have 62 chapters within the United States, and then a presence internationally of about 42 affiliates.
Sure.
And our chapter last year granted 347 wishes.
I was going to ask that. Okay, I know that we became involved last year as we do a client appreciation event at the end of the year, and we sponsor charities as part of our way to give back to the community, and we've done a lot of different ones. We've done Wounded Warrior, we did the Jesse Reese Foundation, and then we got involved with Make-A-Wish last year, and we're probably going to do that again this year, so we were excited. But what does it cost to grant a wish?
Well, the average cost for our chapter is right around $7,500.
Okay.
That's both cash and in kind.
I see.
Because quite often we have the opportunity for people to donate things to us to offset that cash cost of a wish.
Okay.
For example, airline miles.
I see.
They never expire for Make-A-Wish.
Okay.
And we have a lot of travel wishes that we do, and so those kinds of things help. Or we have restaurants or hotels that offer some deep discounts for us. Our single largest in-kind donor is Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine kids want to come to Disneyland.
Yeah, they do.
Or Disney World.
Right.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned before...
And it doesn't cost them anything to do that, really. I mean,
no.
I mean, as far as letting them in the gates, but I mean, they're going to be open anyway. But that is certainly a generous on their part.
Well, I will tell you that last year, Disney's in-kind totaled over $88 million.
Oh, wow.
Worldwide.
Wow.
Worldwide.
Wow.
So we are also a chapter that does what we call wish assists, because Disney's in our footprint.
Sure.
So on top of that 347 wishes that I told you we granted last year, we also did 630 plus wish assists.
Wow.
And what that basically means is that's another child from another chapter coming into our territory, and of course, where do they want to go? To see Mickey and Minnie and the princesses.
Stephanie, I know last year we were introduced to you at our annual client Christmas event. We were able to raise some money for you there. We were able to raise over $15,000, which we enjoyed passing off to you. But I know that you've got had a 30th anniversary video that we had used at our event, which I thought was very telling of what Make-A-Wish does. You know, and so I thought that it would be good if we could show the folks but I understand you're at your 35th anniversary, is that correct?
It is. We'll be celebrating
for Orange
that
County,
this
right?
year. Orange County and the Inland Empire.
Okay, now when did Orange County start as opposed to the
1983.
Okay, so they were a couple years after that they started, but I thought it'd be good to show the video that we used, because I felt very good about it really portraying what Make-A-Wish does. And so let's show that video there for Make-A-Wish, and we'll follow up when that's through.
When I was 2.5 years old, I was diagnosed with a Wilms tumor, and I had to get my left kidney removed, and it was an extremely difficult and hard time in my life and my family's. And I think the hardest part to see is when your family is in pain. And the one thing that I truly love about the Make-A-Wish Foundation is when research can only go so far and treatment can only go so far, Make-A-Wish comes in and gives you the hope, strength, and joy, and that's sometimes all you need to keep fighting.
Make-A-Wish is not just for terminally ill children, but for all children who face life-threatening medical conditions.
Back in 1984, I was diagnosed with a kidney disease, and it wasn't until after my kidney transplant that one of the hospital social workers actually came in and talked to me and asked if I'd ever looked into Make-A-Wish. Now, I said I'd like to see Phantom of the Opera. Now, Make-A-Wish isn't known for doing anything small, so they sent me to London to go see Phantom of the Opera in the original theater. And to think that my small wish of watching a show with my father turned into that, it was a moment of hope when you're not sure what's going to be around the next corner.
Our chapter will grant 335 wishes this year, but that is less than half of the eligible wishes within our community.
I remember every minute of it. I remember it like it was a vacation last summer. We were between being picked up that morning in a big limo. My wish granters, Peggy and Dave, were there to hand my sister and I both backpacks. The limo took us to the airport, and we were off. We went to Florida and did the Disney Big Red Boat cruise, and for once in this journey, you are not surrounded by needles and doctors and weird words that 4-year-olds don't know what even it means.
And you're going to throw a hook like this. Here it comes.
Although Make-A-Wish is a nationally known brand, the Orange County and the Inland Empire chapters operate on a completely local basis, granting wishes to local children.
One of my favorite aspects that oftentimes goes overlooked, I think, is the family that's involved with wishes. And it's easy to overlook the aspect that families oftentimes are juggling so many things when they're dealing with life-threatening illnesses. And when Make-A-Wish gets involved, it allows these families, even if it's just for a brief moment, to come together and refocus on some important things.
The wish that was granted to our son was a life-changing experience, not only for Taylor, but everyone in our family.
And the parents watching their child smile for the first time, maybe sometimes in months, and you see that gratitude in their eyes, it just doesn't get any better than that.
There are certain triggers that I will always have. The hospital smell, white walls, they don't feel right to me. I have flashbacks.
It's hard. I mean, I'll go into the room and yell, and I would stay away from her because she would get me going. It's just hard. And that one day they told us, group people are taking over and letting us know this is going to happen to your boy. I'll be begging, you know, take my eye instead of his, but that's the way it is.
A wish come true empowers children, strengthens families, and enriches the entire community. Never underestimate the power of the smile of a wish child. It's truly life transformational. Thank you.
Well, folks, this has been a great interview for us. As I mentioned, even though it's a financial planning firm, we work specifically with clients in setting up their retirements and setting up secure income streams for them. We also try to give back to the community as well. And in our experience with Make-A-Wish Foundation last year was just nothing but positive. We were talking off air. We've also sponsored some other groups like the Albert Pujols Foundation, Wounded Warrior Project, Jesse Reese Foundation. These are all charities, but our experience with Make-A-Wish was just as positive, if not more so, than it was with any of the other foundations. And so As a financial planning firm, we like to give back to the community. We hope that you'll take the opportunity to maybe check with a Make-A-Wish Orange County Empire, is that right?
And the Inland Empire.
And the Inland Empire. You can go to their website or you can give them a call. The number will be there on your screen. And we would encourage you to take advantage of this organization if in your legacy planning you have a desire to leave some money to charity. I think it would be a charity worth considering. Hopefully you'll have a great retirement, and this is Dan O'Weiler with Sterling Financial Advisors wishing you a good day. Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Bowser Bauman. You probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village television. Grease for peace.
And our movie today, Friday, is called The Upside. This is a comedy drama that came out earlier this year. It stars Kevin Hart, Bryan Cranston, and Nicole Kidman. And it's a comedic look at the relationship between a wealthy man who has a quadriplegia and an unemployed man with a criminal record who's hired to help him. Philip is a disabled white billionaire who feels that his life is not worth living. To help him in his day-to-day routine, he hires Dell, an African-American parolee, trying to reconnect with his estranged wife. What begins as a professional relationship develops into a friendship. And again, Kevin Hart is in this, and there he is right there, Bryan Cranston and Nicole Kidman. So it's a funny movie, but it also has a lot of poignancy to it. So that will be today at 2 o'clock and at 7 o'clock. Now, our movie on Monday is a comedy starring Jennifer Lopez. It's called Second Act, and it's all about a woman who works at a big box store, and she reinvents her life and her life story and shows Madison Avenue what street smarts can really do. I think what really happens in this, I don't know if it's her son or a friend, kind of creates a false resume, sort of a social media account for her. And it gets seen by this Madison Avenue company, and so they think that she has had this great experience in her life, and all these things have happened to her, and of course it really hasn't. So that's sort of a fish out of water kind of story, and how she sort of takes over this job. And that will be on Monday at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So that stars Jennifer Lopez, Vanessa Hudgens, and Lee Ramini. So there we are, Second Act coming to you on Monday. Now, the Towers is having their Father's Day brunch, and I honestly don't know. They haven't contacted me. Usually they'll let it out that they're all booked up. So give them a call if you're interested. Of course, it's Sunday. See if they still have space available. 597-4278, $26 per person, includes tax and tip, and a beverage and a full buffet Father's Day brunch. So give them a call and see if that's still available. Usually the Father's Day brunches are a little bit, don't sell out quite as quickly as the Mother's Day brunches, but give it a try. We'll see what happens. Now, have you ever thought about becoming a volunteer with the Family Visitor Program? Well, this is through, of course, our Social Services Department. They do a great job. They also work now with a partnership with the Council on Aging here in Orange County. They have a friendly visitor program as well. Now, if you get involved with this, it would only be here in the community, but they really appreciate folks that can do this. They'll sit down and talk with you, tell you about the commitment, and then they partner you up with someone that you'll go out. I think it's a couple hours a week, if that can vary, and you go meet with someone and visit with them, and even to the chance of maybe going some places with them. So it's a commitment to a minimum of 60 hours of volunteer service. And I'm not sure if that's the course of several months or whatever it is. But if you're interested in this, call social services at 597-4267 if you are interested in the Friendly Visitor Program. Now, something that's not coming up until the end of July, but the Recreation Department wanted me to let you know on this. It's the Garden Center Farmers Market. It's Saturday, July 27th, and the reason is that they're asking, it's free admission, but to donate goods or canned goods or exchange canned goods for produce. And people who want to maybe have a space here, maybe you're one of the people who grow a lot of stuff in the garden and can't eat it all, this will give you a chance to bring it there and exchange things or offer it up, and the money goes to, the products go to all a good cause here. So if you're interested in this, call Recreation at 268-2387 or email recreation@vmsinc.org for more information. Now the weather, a little bit foggy out there today. I don't think it'll hang around quite as long. Yesterday, it really hung around a long time and didn't clear up till the mid to late afternoon, but then it was a beautiful evening. That's going to be the trend. That's June for you, and that'll continue. We'll start to warm up a little bit more as we get to next week, particularly Tuesday, Wednesday, and I think Thursday. Not as warm as what we had, but we'll be closer to the upper 70s, 80 degrees. But going forward, really, as I keep saying, the only change is how thick the marine layer is going to be. That's really it. We're going to remain pretty even as far as the low to mid 70s go. Around the state, it's going to be a pleasant weekend up and down the coast. They'll have this coastal clouds all the way through morning to midday, just depending where you go. And then inland, way inland, the Sierras are going to be absolutely beautiful. Tahoe and Yosemite, also Lake Arrowhead, and Palm Springs will still be hot out there. They've been hanging over that 100-degree mark now for well over a week, so they'll be hot out there. All right, we will see you Monday. You have a great weekend, and happy Father's Day to everyone.